Thanks for visiting Mindful Yoga with Noelle. We are going to go over seated forward fold today. There are so many benefits that go about this, so let's get on our mats. In seated forward fold poses, it helps with so many different ailments that we have. It can help with depression, it can help with headaches, it helps with the low back muscles. It even helps improve with the hamstrings, calf muscles, and our feet. So we're going to go through breaking it down with props, because this is not always an easy pose to go through. It's not always comfortable either. But this is a good pose to turn more inward, or I should say a couple of poses that we're going to do today. I'm going to show you a few traditional ways to do it, then restorative, and maybe even turn it into a few yin yoga poses. You are going to like forward fold poses once we're done here today. So let's warm up our bodies together. We're going to sit up nice and tall in Dandasana, staff pose. And I like to have blocks on either side and at least one blanket, which I am going to fold up today to sit on. As I press into my Dandasana, pressing my feet forward, I want to sit up as tall as possible to feel the length of my spine, looking forward. Once I'm here, I want to be creative and noticeable of what is going on in my spine for today, because every day our body feels different. So mindfully, I am going to move through a couple of cat-cows while I'm breathing. Note, I'm keeping my legs lightly bent as I'm moving through these cat-cows, so I don't put any strain on my hamstrings right away. And just to evaluate where my body is. I'm also going to take a nice big breath up, reach my arms up to the sky, and kind of just flow side to side to get the spine moving in all directions. So if you are somebody that is hypermobile, that extends your knees back, you're going to want a little bit more support because you don't want to overstretch. So I'm going to take my second blanket and place it underneath my hamstrings here in Dandasana. So I'm fully supported here, sitting up nice and tall. And I love the support of the blocks on either side of me, that I feel like I can press down. And I press down, I could go ahead and push my heels slightly forward, wiggling my toes, beginning to feel my legs kind of wake up. And while I'm here, you could go ahead and point and flex the toes a few times. Sometimes I even imagine that I'm blowing birthday candles out above my toes. And then revisit, maybe move side to side how my sit bones are seated. And take a big deep breath in. So staff pose right here. So our next pose that we are going into is into a seated forward fold, which is called Paschimottanasana. We want to mindfully fold forward here. So if you're somebody like me that you have to mindfully move our extra cushion out of the way, go ahead and move that around and take some blocks with you as you lengthen through your spine and walk forward as you flex the feet softly, gazing over the feet, keeping the spine nice and long. Now, as I'm pulling more inward into the pose, as I'm folding forward with each breath, you want to make sure that you breathe in and out continuously as you're here. I'm going inward, looking downward slightly, and focusing on the sensations that I'm feeling on my backside of my legs and my low back. So an ujjayi breath is really nice to use here when you inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose and feel a little bit of raspiness behind the throat. It helps create a little bit of heat to help lengthen as we go through the pose. Now, sometimes as I go into it, sometimes I need to come out of it for a little bit, revisit sitting up in your dandasana, and then exhaling back down into the forward fold. Take a big breath in, exhale, relax, go into it, going inward into the pose. Again, taking a big breath in, maybe lengthening the spine, and exhaling, coming back over. Noticing each time that I fold forward, I'm able to come into the pose a little bit longer. So go ahead and sit up, lean back, and let's windshield wiper the legs side to side. So let's work with another prop, the strap. I love working with the yoga strap. So this is a pose, sometimes less is more. Some people can touch their toes and some people can't. In yoga, it doesn't matter if you can touch your toes. That's why we have this wonderful prop. So I like to take one block and place it in between my feet and my ankles to keep my femur bone in line with my hips. I'm going to place the strap to the bottom of the ball of the foot. As I sit up nice and tall, I'm mindfully going to think about folding forward here, walking down. Notice I'm not tugging on the strap tremendously. I'm trying to be as mindful as possible. Now, I'm somebody that pronates out with my feet, so pressing in with the block is a lot of work, and I feel a lot of an external stretch here. So I'm pressing my sit bones into the support underneath me, pressing my hamstrings into a little bit of support, pressing down and forward with my heels, and lengthening through my spine, bringing my belly to the tops of my thighs, and breathing. So we stay here for 5 to 10 breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Again, inhaling and exhaling, softening those shoulders, swallowing to soften the tongue. I'm trying to keep my chest relaxed and also my belly somewhat relaxed. Again, breathing in and breathing out. One more time. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And slowly come out of it. Go ahead and lean back again. Relax those muscles. So I have something else fun for us to try in this. There are so many ways to be creative, and I hope one of these ways you will enjoy. So I'm going to go ahead and take my blankets out of the way. You could stay on a blanket if you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and take my strap, and I'm going to go ahead and make a loop and fasten it. And you want the strap towards the outside of your body. So I'm going to go ahead and place it around me like a hula hoop. And again, I like to use the block with me, lowering down the strap to like my lower back and pressing through. I feel so much support within my low back because I'm able to sit straight up in Tadasana here. I'm able to relax my upper belly, pull my rib cage in, but as I breathe, I'm able to expand outward with not hard effort. So, because remember, we never want to feel pain when we go through these poses. So as I begin to take my vision forward, lengthening through the crown of the head, you're going to take a nice big breath in, and we're going to exhale, begin to fold forward. And as we begin to fold forward into our seated forward fold, you're going to bring that gaze a little bit more forward onto those toes and feel yourself breathing into the backside of the strap. Now, I like to turn my palms up because I hold tension within my shoulders. As I begin to fold forward, I have all this great support around me. Again, we're here for 5 to 10 full breath cycles. A nice big breath in and a breath out. Again, a breath in and a breath out. Relaxing my toes, pressing through the soles of my feet. Again, breathing in, breathing out, maybe going a little bit deeper within the pose, going inward. Oh, feels so good. Breathing in and breathing out. One more time. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowly coming out of it. Stacking the spine back, releasing. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret of my favorite way to do this with yin yoga. I find whenever a pose can be challenging, sometimes yin yoga is a great way to help elongate the fascia, what is too tight to help me get deeper within the pose. So I'm going to go ahead and move around, stretch those legs out again. But I love to take the bolster towards me and hug it literally like a big pillow and begin to fold forward. And as I begin to fold forward, I begin to feel the stretch. Then you begin to relax the toes and you're able to relax your body. And this is where you breathe in and maybe think of a mantra as let, and as you breathe out, go. Breathing in, let, and breathing out, go. One more time. So if that is too much, you could always bring the bolster to the top of the legs and rest the forehead to the bolster and relax the arms. Relax the fingers. Allow the head to become heavy towards the bolster. And you could hold this for at least 3 minutes. Constantly working with the breath, maybe moving the bolster down the legs a little bit further to feel this stretch enhance even more. Noticing with each breath, I'm able to go down further into my folds. Because you never want to go past that 75%. You never want to go to a threshold of pain. You want to feel the stretch. But always know to come out of the pose and then revisit the pose to wherever maybe you need to readjust. So from here, let's go ahead and stretch our legs out. Let's come to cat-cow and move that spine around. You know, if you think about it, all these forward folds are such important parts of our everyday life, what we do. So a forward fold can also be when you're standing too, Uttanasana. It is very important to keep the body in good health by practicing these asanas. So we're going to go into a wide-legged seated fold. We're going to start off with blankets. 2 blankets. So fold here and fold here. And note they do not have to be yoga blankets. You could take beach towels, whatever works for you within your home. And I want to go ahead and place them underneath my legs. And you only open up to the legs as wide as it feels right for you. And again, you have to remove the flesh from underneath you, adjust whatever you got going on in front of you to feel this pose. So wide-angled forward fold. This is really good if you have really, really tight IT bands. And it's okay if you have to bend your knees a little bit or even if you have to use blocks. So don't think that I can't do it if you can't hold yourself. You can even bring your hands behind you and hold here first to kind of welcome the pose in. So let's start here. Bring your arms behind you. Take your gaze ahead but yet down or maybe more inward and reflect inward. Saying nice things to your body, nice things to yourself. When's the last time you said something really nice to yourself? So Upavistha is a seated, wide-legged forward fold. Utthana Konasana. So we're going to begin to walk our hands forward very slowly. And I'm lightly flexing my feet as I begin to my fold. So as you bring those hands forward, you can use gently bring your big toes and your peace sign fingers towards the toes, flex through the feet, look forward, and bring the chest down. Just gently pull, gently, to feel this stretch. Keep thinking about pulling forward very into the ground, varying through the heels. This is where you might begin to notice one side than the other that will give a little bit. So sometimes just even nudging from side to side a little bit is a nice effect to help draw yourself down into the pose. So again, it's natural to take an inhale, maybe slightly come up out of it. Exhale down to Uttanavasana. Again, inhale, drawing up. Exhaling, drawing down, and hold. Breathe. Feel the inside of the thighs begin to open, the groin area, really connecting with the water or the fire element, depending on what you're feeling. So I'm feeling pretty warm here in this fold. This is pretty intense for me, so I'm going to focus on the water element to cool it. Beginning to think of my breath flowing through me smoothly as I relax my chest coming forward. Taking another deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more time. And then coming up slowly to release out of the pose. So I happen to love the restorative way to do this pose. We're going to take blocks. Place it underneath our hamstrings. I'm going to grab my friendly bolster and I'm going to bring it towards my third eye. And I'm going to relax my arms down by my side as I go into this fold. As I'm relaxing here, I'm relaxing all my back muscles. My breath is deep to allow my body to relax into this fold. Wiggle the toes, keep your hands nice and soft. Let the head feel heavy so you have the sensation of the fold. Take a couple more breaths here. Now this is a pose that is fun to hold for at least 5 minutes. Working on that stillness and inward feeling, which goes really hand in hand with this pose. If you are somebody that is suffering from low back pain, if you are a runner or a cycler, this is a great pose to work on. Also, if you're feeling just tight from stress, right here, you want to lower that anxiety level, this is it. It's amazing. My motto is, have you hugged a bolster today? Just bringing yourself to some sort of pillow and relaxing within this pose is just so comforting. It's better than chicken soup, I promise you. So let's talk about the yin way to do this pose. There's so many fun ways to do folds. So for in yin, you want to open up the legs again, draw forward, sitting up nice and tall with your breath. So I want to kind of wiggle my toes and my feet. And again, you could sit up onto a blanket if you would like. And I'm going to think of myself soothing and melting into this pose like a candle. So very slowly, just allowing myself to fold forward. You can always bring your blocks with you or bolster. I like to bring my blocks with me. I'm going to build a little table here. And as I fold forward, I'm going to bring my hands, the heel of my hands to the bottom of my face and hold my head here. So in yin yoga, you always want to feel your edge and then find the stillness. So you take like 2 to 3 breaths, visit how you're feeling, and then maybe you could go down a little bit more. Relax within the pose again, taking those 2 to 3 breaths, focusing on that deep breathing to feel that low back and hamstrings and calf muscles to completely relax. I'm thinking about everything stretching. Every breath that I take is bringing new blood flow and oxygen to my muscles so I could get stronger. And I'm going to go ahead and go down a little bit further now. And really feel my rib cage expand as I'm breathing here, as I'm coming to the edge of my pose. Go ahead and take one more breath and slowly draw yourself up. Bring the legs back together. Go ahead and give yourself a counter stretch. So next is butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. I think this is my favorite pose, let alone I love butterflies. So as we stimulate the liver and the kidneys where we want to feel flush in our adrenal glands also. So go ahead and play along here a little bit as you sit up nice and tall, rocking side to side. So there's more to these poses than just the physical asanas that you see myself going through or when you practice on your mat. There's a lot of things intercostally that go on with these poses. So before I start this, since I'm going to go deeply inward into my Baddha Konasana butterfly pose, I'm going to press to the arches of my feet with my thumbs and place my hands on the top metatarsal of my foot and press down to open up the kidney and liver meridians to my body. And just gently massage and hold. Taking a deep breath in, deep breath out. Really massage and nice and softly into the arch of the foot. So as I bound my feet together, you may want to take 2 blankets rolled up and place them underneath your legs. You never want to force the legs down. You might even want to place blocks. The next step is to sit up as tall as you possibly can. And then as you exhale, to fold forward. And as you fold forward, I like to use my elbows as a prop as I come down, just to have some gentle pressure onto the legs. And as I do that, I feel my back just gently unfolding, releasing of any tension that it's holding. Folding forward, leading through the crown of the head. I'm going to go ahead and draw the heart center, my sternum, forward a little bit. And as I go inward, thinking of the butterfly, how it goes through the cocoon stage and how it metamorphoses into this beautiful butterfly. So going inward to keep myself centered, to remind myself after when I come out of this pose, how I'm going to feel. So I'm really focusing on the transformation with breath work as I'm folding here. Taking another deep breath in and a deep breath out. So again, coming up and holding that for 5 to 10 breaths. It is so important to breathe through your yoga poses. We are houseplants. If you don't water us, we'll keel over. In our yoga poses, if we don't breathe, we will pass out. Plus, we want all the benefits to run through our body. So remind yourself, breathe. If I'm telling you to breathe, I'm probably not breathing. So breathe during your yoga poses. So let's turn this more into a yin pose. So I'm going to bring my feet gently together. You're not forcing anything. You're feeling the softness within the pose. You might want to take a block with you. Take a deep breath in, sitting up nice and tall again. And then exhale, begin to fold forward, bringing my elbows to the top of the block. Maybe holding my face and going inward again, focusing on this butterfly. Sometimes it's nice to imagine that you're breathing in through the soles of your feet, feeling that breath work. I even like to bring my thumbs to my third eye sometimes, because intuitively your body knows what it needs. So just help to tap into that intuition, helping that breath move through your body, just being mindful with every single breath that you take in and every thought that you're saying to yourself as you're going through these poses. And then eventually maybe you're going lower without any props and holding here. And when you come out of it, you slowly come up. And it's natural sometimes when you come in and out of these poses to have a little bit of crankiness into the lower back because you've stretched muscles that have not been stretched in a really long time. So again, you would want to do a nice little counter stretch as we move our legs side to side. Now, at any time that somebody feels really unsupported with their legs, blankets, blocks to bind them like so. Sitting up nice and tall. We're going to go ahead and pull out our friendly strap again. I'm going to go ahead and loop that around our feet just to go ahead and help draw us forward into the pose, thinking about the crown of the head pulling forward, keeping the spine nice and long. Nice big full breaths here. So another option would be is to take that strap and loop it again, like that fun hula hoop we were playing with earlier. Bring it around our body. So I'm going to place it around my feet. I'm going to make a little loop, like an infinity sign. And then you could tighten the strap and pull very gingerly those heels in. And these blocks are a bit too much for me, so I'm going to go with the blankets underneath me. So I'm sitting up nice and tall, my Baddha Konasana. As I begin to lower down, I might want to go ahead and tighten up a little bit through the strap and begin to fold into my pose. As I fold inward into my pose, I have so much support surrounding me. Draw the soles of the feet together and go inward, maybe even reflect inward on the support system that you have around you in your life. Taking that big deep breath in and deep breath out. Again, deep breath in and deep breath out. I love using the strap. Anytime that I can feel the strap along my backside, feel my body expand with my breath, pressing against the strap, and exhaling, releasing, I'm telling you, don't miss out on it. So if I wanted to turn this more into a restorative pose, I can go ahead and keep the strap. I'm going to take a little bit of tension off of it. And I am going to build a slight little TV tray, kind of say, in front of me. Going to rest my bolster in front of me and begin my fold. As I begin my fold, I'm able to rest here for a couple of minutes. This is a beautiful way to go inward if you're looking to calm yourself at any time. Typically, when we do not feel calm and we feel anxious, it means we're not connected to our Muladhara root chakra. This is a perfect way to do that. This is also a pose that really reflects within the water element again, because you want the breath to flow in and out of you smoothly as you come down and relax. Slowly come out of it. Take the strap off. I hope you had fun going into these folds with me today. If you enjoyed this and you would like a further workshop on forward folds, go ahead and swipe onto that link. Follow me on Instagram. And remember, it is okay to go inward and spend time with yourself. That's how we recharge ourselves. Have a great day. Namaste.